Old and Akey here with another Halo 4 campaign mission, and today I'm going to be doing Infinity SLASO, or all 13 skulls on legendary difficulty in solo. I did this with no deaths in a single segment, so it does qualify as a Mythic SLASO run. And my goal in this run today was to cut the run time to under 40 minutes using every trick in the book I could think of. And my stats say I ran this in 38 minutes and 25 seconds, and if you cut out the end of Rally Point Alpha cutscene and the loss of control between Bravo and Charlie, I actually probably ran this in the actual gameplay in about 38 minutes or so, so I'm very happy with that. Anyway, we start off like we always do in this mission, just running. Grab that DMR, ammo up with that DMR, select that friend to foe tag, and then take off running in this path. We keep following this path here. Okay, do a little sprint jump. Then I have two crawlers spawn right there. All you gotta do is take one of them out, the other will dodge. And now we're going to be doing a really nice skip that No Eyes 10 and Halo Man 3000 found at the same time, and I first saw Sliding Ghost demonstrate. And anyway, you notice we were kind of crouch jumping up that tree, turn around, jump back this way, come over here, right up to this little corner, jump, aim back a little right, jump again, bunny hop through, and you should make it. I did anyway. Okay, and then do a sprint jump across to here, and over here, and down this log with the flower, and we're off and running. And what we've done is we've bypassed a spawn trigger for the rest of Rally Point Alpha. We will not see another enemy or Promethean of any nature in the rest of this rally point. So we're just kind of running here. So we've turned 4 distinct firefights and 12 to 15 minutes of action into about a less than 3-minute run through this area of the mission. Notice that dead Marine there. I ran just to the right of him, picked up a couple frag grenades.
Recently by the timestamp.
You know, if you missed that, there is a box of them up here when we get to the end of the rally point.
IFF tag, but as far as I can tell,
so we're just kind of running along.
This man
Combination of sprinting and bunny hopping. Up the path. Okay, here we are at the end of Rally Point Alpha.
That's the friend or foe tag.
And take away the mission setup stuff, and that was less than 3 minutes to get to right there. Actually, it was more like close to 2.5 minutes. So, all right. Now we're in a forced cutscene here. Can't get out of it. Now we can skip it. Okay, when we come out of the cutscene here and the door opens, across the way on the hill there will be a crawler. We want to take that one out with the pistol.
Should be big enough to bring in a dropship for evac.
And then there will be another one on the bent tree. Go and take that one out and run over towards the bent tree because we're going to use that as cover from the Promethean Knight throwing grenades at us. He actually does us a favor by killing that crawler with the grenade. Now, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth here because before I go after this Promethean Knight, I want to make sure that I get the crawlers out of the way, because part of what I'm going to do involves sprinting, and once you start taking fire from the crawlers, it just disrupts your sprint pace, and you can get all kinds of trouble. Okay, crawlers are out. We're going to go up here and do a circle melee. There we go. Grenade throwing animation, spin around behind him, and back smack him. And what you want to do with that technique is go a little bit further than what you think is straight on his back. In other words, just a little bit further than the middle of his back, because you are actually whacking him with your weapon, which is coming off your right arm. So to actually get him in the middle, you have to be a little bit past middle. Okay, now we got to deal with Knight number 2, and we're going to deal with him in the same way. Oh shoot. Teleported back. Sometimes he does that, sometimes he doesn't. See if I can bring him back up. There's also an auto sentry back there. Come on, Mr. Knight. I don't want him close to that watcher because the watcher will respawn him. Here we go. Just working my way. Sprint. Spin around behind him. Back smack and get the heck out of dodge. And I immediately turn around here just to make sure that the watcher doesn't move up and respawn him. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can take the watcher out now with a combination of my pistol and auto sentry. Might as well get that crawler on him at it. There we go. I guess I could have picked up a light rifle and then it's a little quicker. Because I am going to pick up the light rifle here momentarily. Okay. Swap my pistol for a light rifle. Where are you? Here it is. Problem is that the color of the weapon is very close to the color of the ground, and it's sometimes extremely difficult to see them. I just ran over another light rifle to ammo up. Back here, the sandbags to ammo up on DMR. Okay, and then we're off and running. We're going to do another little skip here to bypass several crawlers in a night. Going to jump on this rock, this little ledge here, then jump, turn, jump, and those were both crouch jumps, by the way. And again, we bypassed several crawlers in the night, bypassed another spawn trigger. Okay, now we're coming up to pre-holdout. And first thing we want to do here is take out the watcher.
Commander, this is Cortana. We're on our way.
Okay, and then take out the crawlers. Alright. Here comes some more crawlers, another one at least. Here's another one. I'm trying to get them with a little bit of strafing and auto aim, but sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Alright, now I'm going after the knight, as I did with the other knights. I'm going to go with a circle melee. Whoops! Didn't see that crawler coming back. I want to get him out of the way. Okay, here we go. Got him set up with the throwing grenades. Spin around behind him. Again, I went into sprint when he went into the grenade throwing animation. Okay, now we got probably at least 3, maybe 4 more crawlers down here on ground level. And we got, oh, okay, my Marine buddies took out the one that was stuck up in the tree. What I'm doing here is I'm ammoing up on DMR ammo. There is a DMR on that rock. Now, actually, the Marines, I actually do not want the Marines to survive, because what I've got to do coming up here in a bit, that's why I took care of him. What I got coming up here in a bit, they can disrupt.
Find some cover.
Yes, if I get a chance, I'll explain that. Okay. Now we've spawned a whole bunch more Prometheans, including a couple turrets. I'm taking the railgun. 1 railgun shot, 3 shots from the DMR takes the turret out. It's a real nice way to do it from distance. Thanks to Mythic for discovering this tactic. Okay, that takes care of those guys. 2 turrets. I'm going to grab my light rifle again if I can find the darn thing. Yep, still got the railgun. There we go. By the way, you hit the back key, that tells you what your primary weapon is. Hopefully everybody knows that by now. Alright, now we're switching to the light rifle and we want to take out the watchers. Come on, watchers. There we go. There's Watcher 1 down. Let's go after Watcher 2. There we go. Now what we got left here is a knight, and another one's going to spawn, and about 4 crawlers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to force knight number 2 out there to spawn by running up here. I really didn't want to take out any more than 1 crawler there, by the way. Okay, here comes knight number 2. And then knight number 3 is going to show up here. I'm going to take him out with a circle melee. like so. Well, actually, I assassinate him. Well, that's fine too. And I'm ammoing up on the light rifle up here before I take on the 4 crawlers, because if I run down there first, then the light rifles that are up here will respawn. Now, the reason I didn't want to take out more than 1 crawler, and I actually didn't take out any, is that when you get down to 1, maybe 2 crawlers left, the knight up there by the doorway will spawn, and if he does before I can get to him, then it's a lot harder to take him out. Okay, ammo up on the DMR. I should have pretty much full ammo on the light rifle, and now we're down to holdout. That's because Cortana says you got to hold out. And this is a real spawn killing exercise here. First off, as soon as we put Cortana in the system, we run down here to this little fork in the path and assassinate with animation on this knight. Run over here and backsmack this knight when he spawns. Run up here, and we want to take out at least 1 crawler. Okay, and then this next knight will spawn. Notice I stood behind him a little bit and moved up and smacked him. Sometimes you get too close, the back smack won't work. And then we jump up here and go back. And the reason I didn't want my Marines around is if one of the Marines had taken out the crawler first, before I did in position, then the knight would have spawned and I'd have been in real trouble. Okay, now we've got actually 10 or 11 or so crawlers coming up here, and what I want to do is I want to take all but 3 of them out. So I'm sort of counting, looking and counting. I think there's about 4, maybe, yeah, 4 left. Okay, now we're down to 3, and I'm doing this because I'm setting up for another spawn killing exercise. Okay, when I take out another crawler, leaving 2, then a knight's going to spawn, and I want to be in position to take him out with a backsmack. Right about here. He should spawn, backsmack, and then I'm going to run over here because 3 more crawlers are going to come in from the sandbags. And I believe I'm going to have to take out, I'm not sure whether I take out 2 or 3 on this run. But again, if I get myself down to a couple of crawlers left, a watcher is going to spawn down there by the sandbags, and I want to take him out before he can spawn a bunch of crawlers. Okay, notice I take one out, I look back to make sure that that it's not spawning yet. Go back and take a look. Oop, not yet. Alright, got to take out 1 more crawler. Okay, now here he comes, and switch to the light rifle immediately and take him out as fast as you can before he spawns those crawlers. Alright, now we're getting close to the end of holdout here. Now notice how I'm positioning myself right about here. And I need to take out 1 more crawler, and a knight's going to spawn right about here. Took him out with an assassination, which is fine. And then run over to this rock right here, right up to the edge. And the last knight's going to spawn right about here. And then I just step up and backsmack him. And then I just take out that last crawler up there. And once Cortana figures out how to open the door and the waypoint shows up, as we just saw there, 3 more crawlers are going to come down from the sandbags. Alright, we just need to take them out. Alright, that takes care of the crawlers. Now I want to, before I venture onward, I want to make sure I have full ammo on my DMR and full, if not mostly full ammo on my light rifle. And notice that I took all of that DMR, so I ran over to the sandbags, and guess what? I triggered a low zone. And now we have that DMR lying there that I can grab ammo from, and there's another DMR up here. It's a nice little trick that I saw RC Master do in his run. It's a nice way to get some extra ammo if you need it. Alright, I think I just got the last little bit of ammo off the light rifle. And here we are off to the landing zone. So we get to take a little bit of a breather here as we sprint towards the landing zone before we get into our next big battle. And this battle is going to involve taking out at least at least, for me anyway, 3 Promethean Knights using the melee technique. Now, I'm not going to worry about Knight number 1 yet. I'll let him teleport out. I want to take out all the grunts, and there's one
They're working with the Prometheans?
shielded jackal that'll be coming up. But I want to take all of the coveys that are out, coming up towards the cave mouth. Here comes the... ooh, got him with 1 shot. That was pretty good. Okay. I'm going to come back over here. There's a jackal marksman. I'll throw up my auto sentry, distract him, and he becomes an easy headshot. Hit him in the headlights. Okay, that takes care of the jackal marksman. And then back here, and let's clean up the remaining coveys here. Okay, when we get down to, I think 2 left, 2 coveys left. Don't worry about the knights yet, but when we get down to 2 coveys left, that's what I'm looking for, another one to take out. Then that's going to trigger a phantom coming in. It's going to drop off 3 more grunts, and on the left side, or its right side, my left side, and then there we go. And then some shielded jackals on the other side. Okay. Now this was rather unusual in this run. I don't know why it happened here, but I had a knight come up a little early to the cave mouth, which is fine with me, as long as it's not more than 1. Now see, he came up a little early, so I'm going to go ahead and take him with a circle melee. Run by him, spin around. Notice how I went what looked like just past center of his back before I backsmacked him. And then I got the heck back there because the main gun on that phantom was firing at me. Notice those 2 spirally rocks there, that's where the grunts drop out. And then the jackals are on the other side. And they just kind of sit there for me, which is nice. Okay, now there's 3 more knights left and maybe 1 or 2 coveys. And if I see a covey I can get a headshot on, I'll take him out. Otherwise, I'm just kind of waiting here for at least one of the knights to come up to the cave mouth again. Come on, Mr. Knight. Sometimes you can rip through the landing zone pretty quickly because the knights come up here 1 at a time that you can take out. Sometimes they come up in two of them at a time, sometimes 3. And if that's the case, then it becomes much more difficult. But in this particular run, here we go. Here's another knight. So I'm going to take him out with a circle melee. Boom. He's gone. Okay, that's 2 knights down. And, oh, there's knight number 3. How about that? Right away. Let's see if I can get him out of here. Okay, he's throwing grenades at me. Run by him, spin around behind him, back smack, and that leaves knight number 4 out there by where the pelican's going to come down.
Mayday, Mayday, Code Red. Hostile elements attempting to gain entrance to the Infinity Bridge. They're outside the hatch. Doors breached! Doors breached! All units return to Infinity.
Alright, what we're going to do here is we're not going to bother with knight number 4. We're just going to try to run under the ramp, which will trigger the end of the rally point Bravo. Alright, throw up an auto sentry to distract him. Just kind of keep an eye on him over there. As soon as he moves away, just sprint. Like so, and run under the ramp. And that should trigger the end of the rally point, and just make sure you don't get nailed by a grenade. Okay, here we are at the start of rally point Charlie. And instead of the big tank battle, running to the tank, I'm going to run off to the left here.
Weapons free, Chief.
And I'm going to run up on this rock.
Let him have it.
Jump up on the rock. And then I wanted to jump up on this broken beam, but I didn't quite make it the first time, and I thought I was dead. But I got lucky. They weren't paying attention to me, so I'll try it again. Crouch jump up here, right up on this razor edge. Got aim to the far end across the way here and do a sprint jump and jump down. Back on over here, through here, into the light, turn a little left, and then down here. Okay, and back up here, a little sprint jump across it here, and what we've done is we bypassed the spawn trigger for all the coveys from here almost all the way to the infinity. So we don't have to fight our way through all the fuel rod grunts and race and ghosts and such that we would normally in the tank battle, and we don't have to worry about just getting into the tank and surviving the initial encounter. So that's a really nice little skip there. I first saw Sliding Ghost do the actual skip. Okay, here we go. Off we go. Notice I just jumped in this Wraith that happened to be sitting there waiting for me. I'm going to duke it out on the Infinity, or getting to the Infinity and on the Infinity with the Wraith instead of the tank. And notice I boosted right there because of that. There's a Phantom coming in, and I want to get out of his way. I'm going to boost through right here so he doesn't catch me as I go by. Alright, that was a little bit of fire from the Ghost. I'm not worried about that. That's pretty harmless. Alright, now we come up, taking this path here, and we're going to come up on some coveys, including a Ghost and a Wraith battling, I guess, the troops that are just outside the Infinity. And I want to take that Wraith out first.
Commander,
You got one free shot on him. And of course I fired over him. There's my free shot. And notice he immediately turns around and fires back at me, and I'm using this rock formation here and strafing as cover. Sometimes it takes a while to get the guy. This time I actually nailed him 3 times pretty quickly. And that's what it's going to take. This one should do it. Yeah, you can hear him explode. And now I'm going to take out the Ghost before I advance. I'll flip it over there. Alright, there's the Ghost. And now I've got some coveys on foot, as well as, I think, one more Wraith here. I'm not sure. Oh, not in this one. Okay, sometimes there's a second Wraith out there. I mean, the second Ghost, I'm sorry. So now I'm just taking out the coveys on foot, and there is an elite out there, and I'm being real careful with him. Don't want him to get too close and throw a grenade at me. He's running over to do just that. Alright, he's thrown one grenade. Okay, he just lost his shield, so he's going to charge me. Do another one, I just kind of ran right by him. I either killed him with that last blast or I splattered him. It really didn't matter. I just don't want a grenade to impact the Wraith and damage the shields. Okay, when we come up here, we've got 2 hunters, a couple of elites, at least 1, maybe 2 fuel rod grunts, and really our focus primarily in the beginning is going to be taking out the fuel rod grunts and the hunters. You know, and anybody else you can, but as it turns out, once you tag a hunter, he will start backing up. Now this particular run, I'm getting bracketed here by the hunters and this fuel rod grunt. But I am using this platform as cover to see where that mongoose is. I'm trying to see where that damn grunt is. Okay, there he is. The fuel rod grunt's right in front of that hunter in the middle. I think I just got him. Alright, now I'm working on the hunter on the right. The hunter in the middle is sort of backing up a little bit. Come on, Mr. Hunter, go down. There he goes. And I've got a grunt here with a plasma pistol, and then we've got, oh, there's another fuel rod grunt over there. Go ahead and take him out. Alright, the hunter's way back there now, so I'll work on this elite. You almost have to kind of predict where he's going to jump and send your blast that way, so he runs into it, because he is a dodger. It'd be nice if one of these darn Marines would jump up in the plasma turret of this Wraith. Give me a little help. But they don't. Okay. This is taking a while. You kind of get the idea here. It'd been nice if I could have taken him out quicker. That way the run would be a little bit shorter in length. This is a little bit of a choke point for the mission. Of course, there's a bunch of choke points, so this is just one of them. Sometimes it can take a while to take care of these guys. And I'm not the greatest shot with a raid. Ooh, they're throwing grenades at me. Oh, finally. Okay, now we can go after the hunter. I'm doing it at a distance so I don't get nailed with an EMP from a grunt, which would allow the hunter to nail me with his fuel rods. That's why I'm kind of hanging back and trying to judge the distance here. A lot of times I just fire right over his head. And he's still alive from what I can see here. And that's what I mean right there. See, if I'd have been up closer and gotten EMP'd, the hunter would have just taken me out. That's why I'm doing this at distance. Okay, I think he's about ready to go. That hunter's just about ready to go. Just put one shot on him. Oh, there he goes. Okay, now it's cleanup time. I think we got shielded jackal, maybe a grunt or two up here. Okay, once we got them all, then Captain Del Rio appears. Okay, we can jump out of the wraith and get ready for the next encounter. Now this is the Mantis battle inside, and I'm going to clear out the first corridor and then run a nice skip that I first saw Michael W. Smith do to bypass battling the rest of my way through the inside of the Infinity on the Mantis. I'm just going to bypass that whole thing. I never open a door up here. I think there's a grand consensus that Captain Del Rio is kind of a jerk. Okay, activate the Mantis, then run down here, swap out your useless AR for a rocket launcher. Make sure you got full ammo on the rocket launcher. And come on back here and let's jump on the Mantis.
The hatch to the maintenance causeway is jammed. Let's do something about it.
Alright, let's load up the rockets and fire them off. With tilt on, it takes a little bit extra to take out the door there. Alright, like I said, I'm going to clear out this first corridor here. Way down at the end there's a turret, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and take it out with rockets. There it goes. And as soon as I advance up here a little bit, a couple of knights will spawn. It's just a matter of taking them out with a combination of rockets and guns here. The rockets will help weaken their shields. No sense in charging them. There we go, there's one of them down. Okay, there goes number 2, and I think I got one shielded jackal down there. And okay, he's gone. And here comes the skip. Now I got a DMR, which is my primary right now, and my rockets is my secondary. I'm going to run up through here. And on this catwalk over here, there's a turret and 2 fuel rod grunts. First I want to do is take out the fuel rod grunts, and then switch over to rockets and take out the turret. Okay, and now there's another catwalk a little bit further down, and I'm going to take out the turret first here. Sometimes I get lucky and the explosion will take out one of the grunts. That time it just knocked the grunt over a little bit. So there we go. The 2 fuel rod grunts are out, and now we're off to the races here. Just running along up here on the second level. This is the tricky part right here. There's a bit of a jump and a turn, and I thought I jumped too far and got real lucky there. I need to sprint and jump. And then just follow this path here. Okay. And then up here. Now I got rockets out again. And this way, we've got a turret up here at the end that I want to take out with rockets. Immediately come over here to avoid fire. Come all the way up here, peek over the railing, fire rockets, and run down here. The doorway will open and I run into here, into the elevator, and just start whacking the grunts. They're kind of weak grunts. So one smack will take them out. There we go. And then got my shields back. How about that? So I'm at full shields. And I bypassed that, well, 90%, if you will, of that inside the Infinity Menace battle. Okay, now we're down to the final outside battle. I'm going to come out here. I'm saving my sprint, by the way. That's why I'm bunny hopping right here. Okay, I'm going to come out here and sprint off to the left.
3 of them. Shoot them down.
And before we take out the gun jammers, a couple of phantoms dropped off some cubbies. I'm going to take them out first, which is fine because nothing will happen until you start taking out the jammers. More cubbies will not come in and bother you. So let's go ahead and clean up all the cubbies that are already here. Be very wary because the grunts are fuel rod grunts. Now I'm making sure that I don't take out the jammers when I'm firing at these guys. I'm kind of firing and pausing so my guns don't overheat. Or my gun, if you will. There goes the elite. I think overheated. Alright, I believe that grunt is a fuel rod grunt. And they have a nasty habit of hiding behind those containers, so you have to be really careful. That's why I'm firing as soon as I come around the corner here. Okay, I'm not too much worried about the elite. He goes down. See, right there. That grunt was hiding behind that container there. So I just kind of strafed to avoid the fire from the fuel rod cannon. Yep, there's another one. See, I just come out from behind these things. Okay, I think this is the last one I got to deal with. Pop the shields, down it goes, and now I'm going to start with the jammer at the far end. Take it out, take out the middle jammer,
First jammer disabled.
and then come over here and take out the third jammer, the one closest to me, and immediately get over here under this gun.
That's it. Jammer's neutralized.
I'm going to use the gun as cover as much as I can. So now we're going to have a couple of phantoms coming in. I'm going to start with this phantom right here. And actually there was a Banshee. Sometimes you'll see Banshee, sometimes you won't. There's a Banshee coming in there. And notice how I duck under the gun a little bit. Give myself cover from that Banshee. I'm not focusing on the Banshee at all. Now when the cubbies jump out, try to take them out if you can. Alright, there's another phantom coming in. That's where I'm getting the fire from. Right there. From his gun. Trying to use cover as much as possible. Take out his main gun if I can. Yep, there's another phantom coming in the backside again. Or maybe it was just taken off. Alright, now take out the cubbies on the... Oh, I got EMP there. I didn't even realize it. Alright, take out the cubbies that are on the ground here. I'm starting to smoke. My Manus is starting to smoke, so its health is starting to go.
Not letting go without a fight.
Man, I think that was a, yeah, that was an elite with a storm rifle. At least they're not super duper elites. Their shields can pop fairly easily. Okay, here comes another phantom coming in. Try to take out his main gun. There we go. Main gun is out. Oh, now I want to know how he got that shot off after I took the gun out. Alright, try to take out the cubbies as much as possible to jump out of the phantom. A whole bunch of them over here on the backside. Oh, suicide grunt. Glad I turned around. Didn't see him coming. Very rare to see a suicide grunt. Okay. I didn't like the shape my Manus was in, so I'm going to run over here and grab this nice fresh new Manus. And of course, as soon as I jump in, I start getting nailed by the main gun from the Phantom. But still, its health is better than the one I had. Nice to know that there is an extra Manus up there. So this is a combination of trying to take out the Coveys on the ground, maybe taking out the main guns on the Phantoms coming in, and trying to use the gun as cover, especially from the Phantom fire. And fuel rod, when the fuel rod guns come up. Yep, so there's another. Not sure where that's coming from. That must be from the retreating, yep, it's from the fire from the retreating Phantom. Okay. Alright, so now we're cleaning up the Coveys on the ground. We've pretty much thinned them out. And the guns are finally starting to help. The Infinity's guns are finally starting to help a little bit. Alright, nobody over here. Sometimes there'll be a whole bunch of grunts kind of hanging out behind these cartons over there, or containers. But I think they're mostly on the other side of the MAC gun right now. When we get down to one left, then Cortana's going to say that's how we do it, and that's our signal that we're almost done.
Now it's done.
There we go. I think I got them all. There might be one left. Now I did actually lose at least a minute in this run, maybe a little bit more, because I noticed over here on the left coming in Banshees. Now what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to activate the MAC gun control out here. That's what that waypoint is. But what I have found in previous runs is that there's if there's one or two Banshees lurking around, they'll just be hanging off in the distance, and as soon as you jump out of the Manus, they'll come after you. And if you're in the middle of activating the MAC gun, you're frozen. You can't move, and they can nail you with a fuel rod, and that's the end of you. And that's a real shame when that happens, because you think you're just about done, and you get killed by a nasty old Banshee. Now what I'm trying to do is take the Banshees out. I don't know why the guns aren't doing anything. Well, one of the guns is trying to take them out, but they're not doing a very good job. Here you go. I think I'm about to get this one Banshee out of here. There we go. Yeah, if I hadn't seen any Banshees in and around this area, I would have immediately gone to the, there we go, there's the Banshee, okay. Now I'll jump out of the Manus. But I would have immediately come up and done what I'm doing now. But I was being extremely careful here, because I wanted to do this single segment with no deaths. And ensure that this would be a true Mythic SLASO run, which it is. Okay, yeah. So what I've done here is I have run this single segment, legendary difficulty, solo, with all skulls on, and no deaths and no saves and quits. So it does qualify as a Mythic SLASO run. So if you take my, if you take the start of mission and end of mission and the cutscenes where I've lost control, I've actually done this in probably right around 38 minutes flat, which I'm very happy with. I do hope you have enjoyed this run through. This is Old and Achy signing off. Take care, everybody.